Hello guys, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that has supported my Patreon project called Amibian. Now, Delphi developers will of course wonder, Amibian, what is this? It has no direct relevance to being a Delphi developer or a smart mobile studio developer or development at all, right? Well, Amibian is basically just a nickname, and it's a nickname because the web desktop that you have probably seen that we created with Smart Mobile Studio as a part of the 3.0 release was nicknamed Amibian because it looks basically like the Amiga OS 4.1, which is a modern PowerPC based operating system. It's a bit obscure, it's the type of operating system that old Amiga hackers like myself enjoys, basically. So this is the old Amiga, and if you're 35 years old, you might remember it. So that was my pride and joy as a teenager. But that is actually a bit irrelevant for the system, because the system is actually a development platform. Everybody's heard about Smart Mobile Studio by now, and you all know that, okay, it's a compiler that takes Object Pascal or a flavor of Object Pascal and then compiles that to JavaScript, which of course is really cool. You can make mobile applications, you can make Node.js servers and system services. You can do all of those cool things, and you can tap into the JavaScript revolution, if you like. But the problem is still that the compiler and backend is native code, which means that it's bound to Windows right now, and porting it is going to be such a large job that you might as well basically rewrite it and see if we can do something better. And that is what the Amibian project is about. It's about taking our toolkit and turning it into a JavaScript-based compiler. So the compiler itself is going to be written in JavaScript, or Smart, of course. And when you have a compiler that is abstracted from the hardware, suddenly you have a lot more options. You can move it to Linux, for example, and set up a build server on Linux. You can use OS X, you can use Windows, you can continue to use Smart Mobile Studio as it is now, but you will always have the opportunity to switch platforms. Another part that is really cool is, of course, that you get the desktop system for embedded work and also for remote work. So let's say you have set up the Amibian server, and then of course you have the desktop, and you connect to the server using a normal browser. You log in because it's a multi-user system, and what you have? Well, you can then start the IDE, which of course is part of the Amibian system, which is going to be a complete Visual Studio-like system, where you can drag and drop components, you can write code just like you do in Delphi, and then you can ship that off, and it will be compiled server-side. And of course, while you're debugging and making the application, you will of course target JavaScript, because then you can run the code directly in the browser. And then when you're happy with it, you ship it off to the native backend. For example, if you have Delphi installed on the server, you can then build a Delphi native application with it. So you get to completely separate, you have the compiler, you have the runtime system, and then you have the backend that generates the code for the final target. So suddenly all you need is an iPad and a Bluetooth keyboard, and you can be in Spain on holiday, and you can just log in and start coding away. You don't need anything else. In fact, I tested Amibian on the Samsung Note 9, which is one of the latest phones, and it runs beautifully. You log in, you can use the pen, and you can also connect that, of course, by streaming the screen to a television or a monitor. Voila, you have a portable development system that is literally in your pocket. Amibian will also run on a lot of these small devices that are very popular today. The Tinkerboard, for example, is awesome. It really is super powerful. Much more so. I think this is probably 10 times more powerful than this in terms of computing power. This is something in between. This is the Nano Pi. But the point is, getting the compiler core, getting the development tools, getting the desktop and server to run on one of these opens up a whole world of possibilities. And that is what the Amibian project is about. So it's not a new project that sort of parks Smart Mobile Studio in the past. Absolutely not, because the whole system will be written in Smart Mobile Studio. It will target Node.js. It will use every facet of Smart Mobile Studio to take it one step up so that it becomes a true cloud system where you can drag and drop not just components, you can drag and drop whole ecosystems, because that's what cloud is about. So I really want to say thank you to everybody that is supporting me in this, and I'm going to work round the clock to make this happen. So thank you so much. And also I hope that everybody tells me if there's something that you're wondering about, something that you, okay, what is this, what is that, just talk to me. Just leave me a message or comments, and I will of course reply as soon as I can. So thank you again, and I will see you soon.